Upper90studios.com.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The scores were all over the place this week. If you had Salah and captained him, plus Vardy or Reece James, you're looking at 80 points. If you took a chance leaving out Salah, that might be 40 points. My team landed somewhere in the middle, 58 points, 8 points above the average. Something I noticed about Game Week 1 is that whether it was 80 points or 40, there are a lot of doubts ahead of Game Week 2. Some managers with 80 points now have Ruben Vinagre, who didn't even feature. Havertz had a quiet debut for Chelsea. Christian Pulisic didn't even make the squad. And then there's Son, Ings, Mitrovic. My initial plan was to sell Salah for Fernandes Game Week 2, but things changed quickly. Salah scored a hat-trick. Man United could be without Pogba and Greenwood Game Week 2. I don't want to be rushed into decisions with limited information. You might be worried about making a mistake, and on this video I'm going to show you how I created my transfer plan for Game Week 2. Don't worry if you had a slow start, nothing gets decided on day 1. So sit back, let's get right into it with a Game Week 1 review. First game of the new season, Mitrovic benched. He started 40 games and scored 26 goals last season, and he has Premier League experience. He was as nailed as they come. Then Fulham's manager Scott Parker leaves out his top striker for a high press system. The problem is the forwards he picked were unable to channel Arsenal defenders into a tight zone to lock them in. They ran hard, but it was a complete waste of energy. I was so excited for Mitrovic because he's good in the air, and Arsenal conceded 15 goals from set pieces last season. Compare that to Leicester, who conceded 6 goals from set pieces, Arsenal 15. Pep Guardiola, we know he likes to rotate, but Mourinho, I didn't expect him to take off Dele Alli at halftime. Son had a great chance in the first half on the counter. He ended up choosing the wrong option. He had Kane wide open to his left. But by subbing off Dele at the break, Mourinho removed a key outlet for his defenders, who were under increasing pressure till they finally caved. Now my attention is on Jose Mourinho and Scott Parker. What they do can affect our points in FPL. John Egan, 0 points. It took 218 minutes for Sheffield United to concede 2 goals last season. This season, 6 minutes, and they were down 2-0. Egan also picked up a yellow in the first half, and he almost did it again right after the break. It was a final warning from the referee, so that was fun to watch an entire half of John Egan chasing after Adama Traore. Thankfully, he got a big toe on those tackles, and he wasn't sent off. There was a small positive, and that's that Egan was a threat in the air in almost every corner. Alexander-Arnold, 1 point. He looked a bit rusty. I know he didn't have as much preparation as some of the other players. Trent has one of the highest point ceiling for a defender, and that was his floor, a 1-point return. Then there was James Justin, 9 points. Powerful runs down the left. Normally he plays on the right, he's right-footed, but it was this tactical switch by Brendan Rodgers that played a part in the winning goal. Justin cut inside from the left, and he pulled defenders with him. Then he found Pratt in the open space, who crossed for the assist. Justin had 8 recoveries, 3 tackles, 3 interceptions, which helped him earn a bonus point, despite an early booking. I'm imagining the bonus points without that yellow. Then again, that was close to being another red. John Egan, James Justin, Kyle Walker-Peters, he was sent off initially, then the referee changed his mind after review. When rating fullbacks, I'm also considering their positioning. Justin was brought down in the opponent's box for a penalty, which Vardy buried. That was the perfect penalty, so congrats to Vardy owners. Leicester didn't play well in the attack, Vardy didn't play well, but he's deadly from the penalty spot. 20 penalty goals in his career. Only a handful of players have scored more from the spot in the Premier League than Jamie Vardy. Vardy owners did not get lucky, so don't let anyone make you feel bad about your decisions. That's exactly what you get when you select him. It may seem like he's not involved, but you don't see what happens off camera, how he works the defenders with his runs off the ball. When he gets a chance, 2 goals. I didn't watch West Ham versus Newcastle, but I listened to the live audio commentary. Thomas Souček played the full 90, and he came close to scoring at least 1 goal from a header at the far post. Souček plays Arsenal next. Let's see if Moyes can take advantage of Arsenal's weakness from set pieces, unlike Scott Parker. I'm still mad. Aubameyang and Salah came through as expected. It was interesting to see Aubameyang get a yellow card, and he still managed 14 points as captain. That's because he's now listed as a midfielder in FPL. It would have been 10 points if he was a forward like last season. Aubameyang played out wide on the left, but he knows when to drive at defenders and make things happen. If you have Salah and Aubameyang but captain Aubameyang, your team's actual scoring potential might be higher than you think. That was a 50-50 decision that resulted in a big point swing. Danny Ings, 2 points, should have scored in stoppage time. It was a good cross from Kyle Walker-Peters, and he faces Spurs next. I underestimated Crystal Palace against Southampton. I'm sorry to anyone who didn't select Mitchell based on what I said about Crystal Palace's fixtures at the start of the season. Hopefully I can make up for it by getting more tips right than wrong. On the bench, Bissouma did his job. I prefer him over Dale Stephens, who didn't even play. Another player I mentioned on the previous video was Ruben Vinagre. I was concerned about his rotation risk after the signing of Marçal from Lyon. Vinagre was dropped, so I hope if you played him and had Mitchell, you ended up getting clean sheet points from the bench. Now I have questions over Son, Mitrovic, and maybe Egan. So what's the plan for game week 2? I'm breaking down this transfer plan into 3 steps. What's the point scoring potential for my transfers out? Who are the transfers in? And how do these transfers impact that original plan for De Bruyne and Fernandes? First is the scoring potential for the players I'm considering selling. In this case, Son and Mitrovic. I've already mentioned the concerns. I can also make a case that my players had their floor game week 1. That was the lowest return we might normally expect from them. Son faces Southampton, who used a high defensive line against Crystal Palace, leaving tons of space in behind. They were fortunate to only concede 1 goal, so if Southampton keep that same high line, Mourinho could exploit it with Son's pace. Son's record is another factor, 6 goals and 4 assists in 8 games against Southampton. If Mitrovic starts game week 2, he faces Leeds, who just conceded from a set piece against Arsenal game week 1. He has 2 goals and 2 assists in 4 games against Leeds. I swear. Now I'm considering the alternatives. Willian, 14 points. He was fantastic game week 1. He's involved in every attack. He's not afraid to take players on and shoot. 3 assists against Fulham, and he hit the post with a free kick. Calvert-Lewin with a powerful header. Great goal. He was quiet until that point, but Everton looked sharp with James Rodriguez creating chances, with Richarlison on the wing. Richarlison I thought was unlucky not to score, and if Price wasn't a factor, I might prefer him to DCL. Players are still working on their fitness, as we saw with Matt Doherty, and he had a nightmare against Richarlison one-on-one till he was subbed off. Raul Jimenez, he was another standout performer game week 1, one of my favorite players, and he's a straightforward option for Danny Ings, if needed. John Egan's replacement could be Saiss or Reece James, but Wolves play Man City next, and Azpilicueta is back from injury. I like Sheffield United. I like their manager Chris Wilder and their character. He knows they were sleeping at the start, and Wolves deserved that win, but they fought back into the game and even hit the post, so I'm giving Egan another chance. I want to see what happens when I resist the urge to make early changes. I'm trusting that original game week 1 team, giving players a second chance. It was 1 game after almost no preseason, so that's the plan to bank the free transfer. I'll use another round of games to watch KDB and Fernandes, then decide if I should bring him in, when to bring him in, and who will make way. I need an update on Pogba and Greenwood, because if they're out for game week 2, it could affect their attack potential. Now the Elite 64 League. The Elite 64 has some of the best FPL managers, so analyzing their player ownership can help when making transfers. If everyone in the Elite 64 League owns Salah, and you don't, if he scores, you might fall behind strong FPL managers who are probably going to finish at the top at the end of the season. On the other hand, if you feel strongly about Mane instead of Salah, you can take that chance to gain an advantage against strong FPL managers. LiveFPL.net has changed since last season, and the main change is you now have to use a team ID first to navigate to a mini league. Before, you could just pop in the league ID directly. So to save some time, I'm including the full instructions on this video description and the blog post. LiveFPL.net instructions look like this. If you don't want to go through that process, I'll include Elite 64 ownership stats on the weekly videos and blog. This is the actual player ownership ahead of Game Week 2 from LiveFPL.net. Another alternative is FantasyPL.com. I really love this website, and I think it's easier to use. You click League Selections at the top, enter the Elite 64 League ID, which is 21004. Click Load. Sort ownership stats from highest to lowest by clicking League Owned. And that's it. One of my favorite features of FantasyPL.com is it displays the overall ownership right next to Elite 64, so we can use both in our transfer strategy. I'll cover how to target mini leagues, including the Elite 64, throughout the season, and answer any questions you may have. I can't wait to hear all your scores, good or bad. What have you done already? I know you did something. Let me know. We can learn from each other's experiences. Thank you for all the likes, subscribes, all your positive comments. You guys are the best, and I wish you big green arrows Game Week 2. So that's going to be a wrap for today. Stay tuned for my next video. If you like my music, all my songs are for you on the website. See the link in the description. U90 Mini League. Good at FPL? Join U90 Mini League for a chance to win. Be sure to follow at Upper 90 Studios on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, where you get an inside scoop before YouTube. And if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe and turn on your post notifications, because this season is going to be incredible. Don't forget to subscribe to our email list and get your free fixture difficulty cheat sheet. Click the fantasy tab at upper90studios.com. Thanks for watching. See you soon.